is up, mother pluckers? Welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be showing you some exercises in order to help strengthen your right hand strumming technique. When we think about strumming the ukulele, we normally think about down, down, up, down, up. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? And that's absolutely fine. There's a reason that everyone uses it, is because it sounds good and it's easy. But I'm going to give you some things today to hopefully challenge you, strengthen that right hand, and get you having a great time and trying some different things on your ukulele. So let's get started. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel as well so that you don't miss future tutorials like this. Leave a like and a comment as well. Let's start. Anyway, shut up, Simon. Let's start. Okay, so exercise number one, I'm going to teach you an offbeat skank with chucks in between. Let me demonstrate for you first of all. Okay, so let's break that thing down step by step. So first up, you're going to place your left hand on your strings and you're not going to press down, so you get that nice chuck sound. So you've got no notes ringing out, just a nice chuck, chuckity chuck, 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 chuck. And then you're just going to go down, up, and repeat. And as you're doing it, try and count out, say it and play it, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, I can't stress enough that you need to master this first for most strumming, because it adds rhythm, it builds your muscle memory, and it just makes everything sound generally groovier and better, in my opinion. So make sure you're just taking the time, even if it's 5 minutes, down, up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it works slowly, it works quickly as well. That's step one. Step number two then is I'm going to show you the chords we're going to be playing. We're going to use a C and an F chord. Now you can use your regular C and F chords in the usual positions you're probably familiar with, but I'm going to show you two different ways to play it to also challenge your left hand as well. So first up, our C chord, you're going to place your ring finger, so your third finger, on the 5th fret of the G string, your middle finger on the 4th fret of the C string, and then you're going to bar your first finger on the 3rd fret of the E and A string. And the reason we're going to do this is because we're going to be muting this chord, and it's a lot easier to do with this chord position. So that's the C chord. Then the F chord, you're going to bar your 3rd finger across the G, C and E strings whilst leaving that first finger on the A string. And again, this one is easier because you get to mute that chord. Now, you can use the other chords, that's absolutely fine. And as long as it sounds good, it doesn't matter if you can't play these chords 100% fine. So we are then going to put these chords into our down and up chucking, and it's going to be on the off beat. So on beat is beats 1 and 3 because they are stronger beats, and off beat is beats 2 and 4, or everything in between. It's going to sound like this. Here we go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You get the idea. Then once you speed things up a bit, you can add a lot of groove and that nice kind of reggae feel to your playing. Oh, it's beautiful, it's sweet, it's groovy, it's lovely. Okay, so this second exercise is what I like to call railroad strumming. Country and western, bluegrass, Johnny Cash kind of style. Really good, forward momentum, sounds a bit like a train. Let me demonstrate for you first of all at full speed. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so first of all, the chords we're going to be using are G, C, and D, all lovely, lovely major chords. And our strumming pattern is going to be down, down, up, down, down, up. I like to think of this as blackberries. Blackberry, 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 down, down, up, down, down, up. So that's the first thing to practice. Pop your fingers on again so you get that nice chuck sound. And start off nice and slow. Down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, black, berry, blackberry. Once you're comfortable with that, try popping a chord on. So just try it with one chord first of all, so with a G chord, nice and slow. And then once you're comfortable with that, we're going to change between the chords. Okay, so there's going to be some music down below, and you can try and follow along with me. 3, 4. And once you're comfortable with that, you can take it up to a nice speed and you get that real nice railroad country kind of vibe. And as you can see, once you start throwing some other random strokes in there, you add that groove, that little bit of spice again, which is great. Okay, so the third exercise is going to be based off a reggaeton rhythm. So reggaeton rhythm is from Latin America and it sounds like this. You're probably quite familiar with it. Drake, One Dance, all those kinds of pop songs from about 5 years ago all used reggaeton rhythm. It's very nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply that to the ukulele with this strumming pattern first of all. Okay, so let's break that down bit by bit. First things first is the chords. We're going to use a D minor chord and a C major chord. And the strumming pattern is going to be downstroke on the 1, upstroke on the and of 2, and then a downstroke on the 4. So 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. So that gives us a strumming pattern of down, up, down, down, up, down. So down on the 1, up on the and of 2, and then down on the 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1. And the important thing is on the 4 and then returning to the 1, you're doing still both downstrokes. 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. And once you're comfortable doing that, 1, 2, and 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3, 4. You can then speed it up. Got it? Good. Moving swiftly on. Okay, and our final exercise is another reggaeton groove. It's the last strumming pattern, but we're adding some chucks in between as well. Think Ed Sheeran, Shape of You kind of style. Okay, let me demonstrate for you first of all. So this incorporates everything we've learned really nicely because we've got that nice squeezing motion that we looked at and we've got all that up and down motion with our strumming hand as well. So what we're going to be doing is going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and with our strumming hand again, but we're going to be hitting and squeezing those chords on those reggaeton beats that we just looked at. So it's going to be beat number 1, the and of 2, which will be an upstroke, and then 4. But in between all of those, we've got our chucks. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You really have to focus on hitting the chord and then releasing it as soon as possible so you get that nice staccato rhythm. And then, as best as you can, muting the strings in between the chords. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Then you're going to change to a C chord. Now, you can do an open C chord, but again, because those strings are open, instead of releasing the fingers, you're going to gently just place your first finger on the strings to mute them. Oh, that's it. So this takes a lot of practice and coordination, but if you stick at it, it sounds great. And again, you get that lovely Ed Sheeran kind of reggaeton vibe. And if it sounds a bit messy in between, it's fine because it's music and it's supposed to sound beautiful. Thanks for watching, folks. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe on this video. But most importantly, thank you to my patrons on my Patreon page. Without you guys, I can't do what I do. If you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, you get exclusive access to all of the music I make, all of the audio from my YouTube videos. You get to choose what videos I make next, and you get access to all of the sheet music to any tutorial that I do. So if you're really interested, consider heading over and giving me a little bit of help out there as well. All right, folks, cheers. See you next time.